What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video on my channel. This one is a Ford Mustang Mach-e. Why am I bringing this video? Two reasons. One, to change up a little bit from the Honda series I've been doing. Second, this car, I don't know if it's underrated, shouldn't exist, or should exist, and people should keep that in their consideration or what have you, but it strikes me sometimes when I see it on the road, and I just kind of think about the decision factor that goes in when people go ahead and buy a Mustang Mach-e. As we know, this was introduced by Ford not too long ago as a fully electric car named after the most famous Mustang Mach-1 itself, to be able to kind of move this product as their fully electric and compete against the I think in their mind they wanted to compete against the Tesla Model Y, but as we know, it's not comparing to that. But I think we could put it on the manufacturer that it can compete with, such as the Hyundai Ioniq 5, the Kia EV9 or EV6, VW ID4, etc. Overall impression of the car as we kind of go around, you'll see how it is and how it feels. It doesn't look bad. I do like the styling behind this particular one being the premium model. There's about four in the lineup of the Mustang Mach-e. You've got the base, which is a select, then you've got the premium, then you've got the California Route-1, and then you've got the GT. This one's the second one in line, which is the premium, but it does have some additional packages to it, such as the blacked out ponies in the front and the back, the blacked out wheels, that brings up to a package. Also has the all-wheel drive with this, which is an option that you can get in all trim levels. It also extends the motor by having that package on, which is from the typical range. It goes, so the typical battery is 72 kilowatt hours. This one clocks in at 91 kilowatt an hour, so you get a little bigger range. Somewhere around 315 is what Ford claims for this. Again, that depends on driving in all those conditions that you perhaps do, so I don't expect it to do that of a range there. The good thing about this in general is every Mach-e is capable of fast charging. Every Mach-e comes with the home kit. So the expectation is, or the idea that Ford claims is, if you plug it into 120, you can get about 28 miles per hour overnight extra. And then if you plug it into a 240 outlet, you get about 80 miles capacity of the charge there overnight, type of a thing. Electric, still, I think the first move is typically hybrid, then electric or what have you, but hey, everybody's trying to compete in this market, and let's see what Ford has stacked up to it. So coming to the front of it as we go, it's nice and clean. There's really nothing that you would want to mention in terms of functionality wise, but you've got the typical front there with full LED headlights. It's somewhat sequential when it comes to the indicators or DRLs. You've got full LED headlights, of course, no fog lights there. There's parking sensors. There's no active shutters up here, but down below you could see that it does have some matte going on and what have you, but the lip itself is fairly decent. And then the pony badge is blacked out, which is a package, otherwise it's not blacked out. And you've got the front facing camera, because my tester's got the 360 equipped with it, and I believe that's part of almost all Mach-es. Their starting price of them isn't so bad. I think two reasons why you would go with a Ford Mach-e. One, you have the love for the brand, because I think with Ford, that typically how it is. Everybody knows how Ford is in general. I don't have to go into that for the folks watching this, but it's a brand that does have a great love from those that have had it versus those that are indifferent, because I think you'd only buy any Ford, be it this or any other Ford, is whether you like it or you just hate it. So those are the two reasons. I mean, if you hate it, you won't buy it. I'm trying to say you'll only buy Ford if you actually like the brand. Anyone that's neutral in car buying process, I don't think they will stumble upon any Ford for that matters. Coming around the side, I don't think it reminds me of any other car when it comes to where it might have taken some inspirations from outside of it, obviously trying to share the platform of any kind with the Mustang itself. One, I think that was the purpose, so that it sells more. As we go to the side, you can see the charging ports right there. Conveniently placed, so if you park it in the garage or if you're pulling up to a charger, it's here. It's easy, you get to that. And like I said, you get the home kit with that. They all come with the integrated turn signals. This one has a power folding mirror as well. This particular Mach-e has the ceramic coating and the interior protection done on it by Ford. We'll get to the price tag at what it clicks in. A few things that I do want to mention as we step inside, but before we do that, let's look at the back too. Yeah, very familiar as to how, you know, we've seen a Mustang, just a raised one, but again, this does not compare or compete with the actual Mustang there. So off to the, you've seen the other side, so we'll just go from top down on the back. You've got the rear mounted light, you've got the wiper, which is not rain sensing in the back, it is in the front. You've got the backup camera there. Then the trunk itself is pretty flushed in, and I kind of like from this angle, maybe the new Ford Escape that they've got going on. The bottom lip is very similar to that. Then you also have another brake light there. Obviously, this is an electric car, so you don't see anything exposed in terms of exhaust. You don't really see exposed exhaust on most manufacturers these days. To get into the trunk, the latch is here. It is not the kick one, but it is automatic, so you simply do that. All seats are currently up right now, so you get about 28 cubic feet of space. You can just see the mats are here. There is underfloor somewhat storage with the load cover there, so if I lift that up too, you can see it comes with a fix-a-flat kit and a bunch of other things. No spare tire, but overall, this is how the trunk would look like. There are no latches to put the seats down from here, even though it's pretty close. You could reach essentially here. It's an electronic mechanical combination type of lock, I feel. So put the seats down there. Over here in the back, the only utility thing you really have would be, or power, excuse me, would be the 12-volt socket. So if you want to tailgate there, you do have the lights in here as well. The trunk itself, I think if I try to sit in and someone try to close in, I can maybe squeeze. It should be fine, but nobody's really doing that. And then you've got the hooks here to do that, to close the trunk up. One, you can set the height there, or you can close. It does have a chime when it closes, but no one hears that, so I don't know why there is that kind of a chime. If we go around, and then as we step inside, but before we do that, let's look at the tire size and what are we doing with the tires. So it's running on 19 inches here. This is, again, a package through which you get the black alloys here. It is the Michelin tire on this particular car. Otherwise, overall, I think the side profile and the car in general, it looks nice to me, but then again, it's an opinion. So as we go into the car, one thing I do want to show before we do that is going to be the frunk. So you have the frunk. It's rather tiny when it comes to what you can put in, but hey, it's storage there. So to unlock or to get in, you've got this, well, one, you still have the keypad from Ford. This is, I think, one of the things I've always loved growing up. To get you, this is electronically operated, so you hit the button here, it unlatches to this point. So I don't know how it would be in snow and stuff like that, but that's typical for that. To take a look at the front, you just come down here, you hit this twice to fully unlatch that. And if we go around, again, just to see the space that it has, I've got my filming bag in there, so that should give you an idea how much space it has. Not much, but you've got your windshield fluid to put in. And then this is also a button, which is kind of cool. Like, let's say if you end up putting a child in here, your own child, they can get out, but don't do that. But here it is for safety reasons. I think this is probably because of the US safety regulations. Otherwise, nothing crazy in terms of storage. You could see that if you fit, this is not a big bag. So let's say if we're trying to fit something in, you can probably fit a good amount of little boxes or things like that. Otherwise, nothing to mention there. You just shut it down. There is no grab handle or anything like that. As we step inside, but before we do that, let's look at the door panel and what's going on. First thing I noticed, kind of unnecessary, 3-person memory seats. I think you only need really 2. If it's a 1-person car, I think this could become an option for any buyer, that they can either choose a memory seat or something else as an option, which is costing a manufacturer the same. They could have them decide that. Overall door panel, this one doesn't have really anything in terms of contrast. It's all black there with the beautiful paint. This is called a grab blue paint of the car, so it's very grabby, that is for sure. If we're looking at what controls do we get power folding mirrors there. We get heated mirrors, side mirrors, all one touch, down, up, auto there. This is the latch to release the door handle. It is part mechanical, part electronic, if you will. This car is equipped with the Bang & Olufsen audio system, so that does sound really nice. Otherwise, you have, as we step in, you've got not the entire kick plate there, but this is all plastic with just a, you know, the Mustang, just so you get the idea that you've bought a Mustang, though it's not a Mustang. As we step inside, stepping height is fine for its size, really. As we are stepping inside, what do we get? So let's fire up the engine. Here is the power button. So let's do that. It's got the traditional chime, and you know what this chime reminds me? Every time I rent a Ford pickup truck from like Home Depot or something. So that was kind of funny because it is a Ford at the end. Looking from left to right, what do we get in terms of the quality of the material and or the things that we get, really? You've got a mixture of injection molded plastic. Then you've got some, this is nice suede, so you've got the speakers here, and then leatherette, and then down below you've got some controls such as your lights and other things there. Here's the display. I don't know how I feel about the size of this. I do like the idea that it's there, so you don't have to look where I'll show you in a bit on the screen that you see in the middle, but I think a heads-up display would have been a nice feature too, which I think in almost all electric cars which have big screens in the middle can get to. But hey, this is not bad. Ford is giving it to its users, so it's not bad. Steering wheel itself is mostly plastic. Pretty much the entire steering is plastic, except that it's leather wrapped. This one does have heated steering wheel, but otherwise it's got your cruise control and safety sensing on the right side, and then your volume and stuff on the left side. Japanese is typically switched here. You've got your indicator stock, feels cheap enough, and then you've got your wipers, so rain sensing in the front, nothing in the back there. You get your range on this screen. You get like door unlock, lock type of a thing, all those notifications up here as well. And then as we get to the center, I like this screen simply because, one, it is not super wide, but it's also got the mechanical control for the things that you want to quickly get to. Unlike any other manufacturer that only has one screen, I don't compare this car to a Tesla. Tesla has come a long way. Tesla is, again, the American premium electric car, so you don't necessarily compare that. But let's say if we're taking the if we're doing apples to apples when it comes to the dollar value, then maybe you could test drive and see, depending on if you want to go for a Ford. This screen otherwise houses pretty much everything. So starting from, let's say, the home screen here, you've got your standard Android Auto, Apple CarPlay, both would be your wireless. You've got the navigation. It does feel like it is a mixture of Google built in or a Garmin, because I do like that you could see the charging station, so it's got that connectivity going on, and then you also have the Ford Fast Pass, which allows you to control the car from your phone, just like any other manufacturer offers you that as well. Your AC controls and everything is manual, but also can be done through the dial, which is nice to do it quickly and easily. You would utilize this. Same with this is interchangeable knobs, so depending on what screen you're trying to set, it will switch accordingly. So if we're on the music, it will switch the volume up, down. If we're on heat controls, it will do that. The car comes with heated seats, not ventilated. It does have 360, like I said, so if we switch here, it's got different angles you can go to. So here's the front. You could see this is, by the way, the Maverick that I will be recording shortly after, so stay tuned for that. Second, you've got the wide view of the front as well, and then you've got the 360 up top here as well. Car does have parking sensors, so I do like that. Overall connectivity of the screen and how intuitive it is, I do like how it responds. It's fairly decent to what it does, depending on, again, if you've wanting to go into this kind of a car, which is fully electric, you might be looking at a Mach-e for what it is. Then you have your standard apps on the entertainment, which is similar, so if it's being charged and what have you, and you're just sitting, you can watch YouTube, and you can, play some games there too. They're the best games. Tesla has them. Overall, interior quality, this one's dark black, obviously. Onyx black is what they call it, so it's nice, but yeah, there's no contrast going on. It's not super simple like other manufacturers, which I like, because you can still, as you're sitting inside of the car, you can still, look at things that are in the interior of the car, either be bothered by it or like them or what have you. Coming down here, you've got a USB-C, a USB-A, a wireless charging pad, though only on the left side. I don't know how much it costs to give the entire pad charging capability, so if passengers are with you, they can also charge their phone, but it's only here. I did try charging my phone. It works decent amount because it's got some, the friction padding there, so it doesn't slide as you're driving, so it would do the charge. Cup holders are rather small. I put the bottle for illustration there. They are small and they're kind of shallow, so if you have bigger drinks or what have you, it might just topple like that. So they are small on that side, and I don't see any other door bins or the door that would accommodate that too. Coming to the center console, what are we looking at? We've got traditional. The reason I'm calling this traditional is because it's no longer like in the screen or it's not on the stock. It's a typical dial gear rotary here for your PR&D. You've got your hazards here, your parking assist, and then your brake, hand brake or foot brake, whatever you want to call it. This is your armrest. It is not a console, so you lift this up. It's an open space. Then you have the cubby underneath. And then it's a solid size. A toilet paper would fit to give you the illustration of how deep it is. And then you've got, you know, a 12-volt socket there. And then no USB-Cs here. It just, I don't know what this is for. Maybe to stash your key. Which brings me to the point how the key looks of the Mach-e. To give you that aggression, it's got the pony on the front, and then it's got these controls on the back. It's a solid fob. Let's try to see if it actually slides in. It's got a bunch of dealer stuff on it, but it does. So maybe you can stash your key here, but I think typically people would keep it in their pockets or in their handbags, depending on who you are. Seats, they are comfortable. I do not know if this is premium quality leather. I couldn't read it on most of the forums for it, so I'm not gonna say I don't know if it's Milano. I tested an Acura the other day, MDX, the premium one, it had Milano, so it kind of gives me that feel with the perforation and stuff, but I would doubt that. You have the typical door controls otherwise, and for the driver too, typically you have, you know, the lock unlock, so does for the passenger there. Up top, you've got the panel roof. This does not open, but it's not, it does switch, you know, based on the sun doesn't glare at you. Overall, here you have your typical sunshade holder. You've got map lights there. The car is not equipped with SOS feature there, so I don't know if Ford offers it on a higher trim level, but what I do like is the home link there, so that's nice. The visor is here, and then the visor mirror for bigger egos there. I think it's one of the biggest vanity mirrors I've ever seen on any car. Otherwise, the visor is pretty standard. It's not too big, not too small. Overall, decent glove compartments over there. It gets too dark in here. I'm not opening that up. It's also small if that is something you wanted to know. As we hop out of the front and go into the back, let me show you the door release again. You just basically push on it like so. It unlatches, and then you get out and you get into the back. To get into the back, there's no similar door handle or latch. This gets annoying because what if you just want to you forgot something, you turn around and you get into the car, you gotta hit the button again. It's not that worse, but it's also not that practical. But I don't know if this car is practical. So here's the back door panel. You've got, I'm trying to figure out if this is ambient lighting or just shade. It's not. It's just an aluminum strip running through, but it is reflecting the paint, so it looked as if it's changing colors, but it's not. The back door, similar to the front, you've got no contrast. It's just a standard door. You've got a scratchy plastic here, same in the front and there too, and then you've got the tweeter and the speaker here. As we jump into the back, yeah, this is a very dark cabin. Even it's so bright, but it still gets very dark in here. So as we step inside, the seat is actually set to my position at 5'9" there. So you have a decent amount of legroom. I wouldn't say that, you know, you will be super uncomfortable in a long road trip, but it's fine. You pick, you decide. The seats itself, they're on the thinner side. Like if you take a look at the headrest, it's rather thin. So you kind of talk about the quality there, give or take. But I do like how the seating position of the car is. That is for sure. Coming around here, what do we get? We get typical map pockets on both sides. They're rather tiny map pockets, but it's there. Overall, the interior is fine. I do like the perforation of the seats. I do like the leather quality, to be very honest. You have the cup holder and the armrest. Again, I do like that it sits high, but what I don't like is the position of it. I just prefer it to be vertical so people can actually rest their arms. Even if you don't have drinks, when you rest your arms, it just gets uncomfortable, so you're probably going to pull that up. Does not have through loading. It's a 60-40 split, so 40 there, 60 here. But then, of course, if you need to reach something, you can. But if you wanted to take, let's say, skis or something, you don't have that through loading here. In terms of air and power, we do get 2 vents here. We do also get a USB-A and a USB-C there. No dual climate zone. This car is small enough for, the front to just have the climate be controlled and you get the air blown out of the vents here. Up top, like I said, this is the full glass roof here. It cuts off here, so yes, your headroom might be compromised, but me at 5'9", I'm not rubbing. I also don't have much hair for it to rub on the head or on the roof, ceiling, but I think people at 5 foot up to 5'11" should be fine in the back without their head rubbing against the window or the roof. But overall, it's a dark cabin. Maybe it's also dark because I have my shades on, but overall, this car, I don't expect that, families will be traveling. It's mostly going to be a solo car as far as that is concerned for the most part. But overall, one thing I do want to mention, I don't like the thud. It has to do something with the quality or what have you. The door thud itself, though Ford's build quality, you folks know, I have never really owned a Ford to know exactly how the quality lasts, but the warranty seems like it's pretty decent. You've got the limited one that is 3 years, 36,000 miles. Then you've got the powertrain, which is 100,000 there. This car is, battery, so you also have the 8-year, 100,000 there too. So batteries, so the warranty seems solid as to what Ford is offering. But take a listen to the thud. I'll show you the front as well, or have you listen to it. I don't like it. Let me know if you guys like it. It just sounds cheap. You guys hear that? And then same with the front. In front, what I did notice, the door itself kind of shakes. So we're gonna shut this one. This feels a little more damped in comparison, but I still don't like the thud in terms of the quality there. Let's do an overall around again so you guys can see the car one more time, and then we'll talk about the price tag that this one comes in. This car, again, isn't something that you will really all be going after and buying, but if someone is in the market for one, you kind of know what you're getting yourself into if that's the case. Take your pick, drive the ones that compare against this. Like I said, Hyundai Ioniq 5, the Kia EV6, EV9, and then take a look at it. But you do know the winner. If you're really wanting to go fully electric, it would have to be a Tesla, at least for now, in my opinion. But that's my opinion. You folks decide what you want to do. As we're looking at the sticker price here, the base model starts at around $49,995, so tick under $50,000 for the premium all-wheel drive here. And then this one stickers in at $60,095 with a bunch of options that it has, which are right here. So these are the options that it's equipped with. You could see that it's got the extended battery range there, that's $7,000. And then you've got the pony badging, the blacked out package for $500. And then you've got the mobile power cord, which is an extra that you can get for charging purposes for another $500 there. Special thanks to Ford Willowbrook in Chicago, Illinois, Chicagoland area, Illinois. So if you are looking for a Ford, they have great inventory, one, and two, they also have a lot of good incentives going on. So if you want to come through, comment below, I'll tell you the name of the person you can come see, and then you guys can make your decision if you're in the market for a Ford because you're a Ford lover, or if you want to try out a Ford, this could be your place. They're off of 83 here in Chicago. This was, people, a review of a Mach-e. I personally like how I'd like to do with, okay, should you shortlist this? Should you go right ahead and buy it? I don't know. You decide. If you are in the market for a car like this, come test drive it. See what you get. Compare it, do your research, understand the electric arena there, and then make your decision. If you are making that decision, I do like this color a lot. It's got really nice color schemes going on to it. As we close out this video, I'm going to close out of the zoom here too, so you guys can take a look at it. It is the car itself, despite everything else, how it looks design-wise, sometimes funny, sometimes cool. Ending with that, thank you again very much for watching this video. I'll catch you guys in a different video. Stay tuned. Thank you again very much.